Thank you. Now, before vacation, we had started the last chapter, Evans tries O level. I want to tell that so far we had completed Evans tries O level. I told that it's a very thriller type of story, one of the best stories we are having in class 12 syllabus. Now here, Evans, a criminal, what he has done actually it has not been stated, but he was confined in Oxford jail, and he wished to appear in a German O-level examination. For this, he requested to the governor of the HM prison, Oxford, that so that all the arrangement could be done. Now the governor had informed this to the secretary of the examination, that is O-level examination, and the story starts with a conversation between the governor of the jail and the secretary of the examination board. Now both of them actually agreed to the fact that they should allow Evans, who was a congenital kleptomaniac. I told last day, kleptomaniac means he is having a habit of stealing something, that he should be actually allowed to appear in the examination, because he wanted to appear in the examination as he implored to the governor for his higher educational qualification. So as per the law of education, nobody can be deprived of higher education, so he was allowed to appear in the examination. Now we were we completed in page number 71, not the whole of page number 71, but we will start today from this line. The presumably, said the secretary, you can arrange a room where, means still the conversation was going on through telephone, over telephone the conversation is going on between between the governor of HM prison, Oxford, and the secretary of O-level examination. Okay. Now the secretary told this to the governor, that you should arrange a room where the candidate would appear in the examination. At this, no problem, he is in a cell on his own. If you have no objections, he can sit the examination in there. He can sit the exam in there. Now the governor, when the secretary told the governor that you should arrange a room for the candidate, the governor told no problem, because he is living in a cell, and in that cell only he could appear for the examination. He could sit in the examination. That's fine. So the secretary of the examination was satisfied with this arrangement, and we could easily get one of the persons from St. Mary Marks to invigilate if that is. Now the governor also told that during the examination we need an invigilator, so we would call a person. See the meaning, see the spelling, not person, P-E-R, it's P-A-R-S-O-N. Person means clergyman, bishop. So the governor of the jail confirmed this to the secretary of the examination board, that he would make the arrangement for an invigilator. A person means a bishop from St. Mary Marks. The question may come that from which charge the invigilator would come to invigil while Evans would write in that examination. It would be from St. Mary Marks, the charge that the governor told that he would call a person to come here to invigil Evans the examination. Fine, yes, they seem to have a lot of persons there, don't they? Now secretary told, oh, that would be fine. And actually the secretary also told that in that chart there are many persons over there, many bishops over there. The two men chuckled good naturedly, and the secretary had a final thought. And two men chuckled means two men smiled with a good nature, because both of them agreed to the fact that Evans should be allowed to appear in the examination. And then lastly, the secretary had a final question to ask. At least there is one thing, you shouldn't have much trouble keeping him incommunicado, should you? Incommunicado means unable to communicate. Now the secretary told the governor that you must not be any problem in communicating with the candidate, because the candidate should be informed time to time that what he should do. So the secretary asks to the governor that you must not have any problem in incommunicato with the candidate. The governor chuckled politely once more and reiterated his thanks. Reiterated means repeated his thanks, and he slowly cradled the phone. Cradled the phone means they were conversing over the land phone, and a land phone, you know, the part we use for talking, it's known as a mouthpiece, and the mouthpiece is kept on another part of this phone. This is known as cradle. So he cradled the phone. He had kept the mouthpiece on the cradle. Evans. Now the secretary. The secretary was thinking about Evans. Evans, the break, as the prison officers called him, and in the prison, Oxford prison, HM Oxford prison, Evans was famously known as Evans the break. All the prison officers called him by this name, Evans the break. Why? Thrice he had escaped from prison, and but for the recent wave of unrest in the maximum security establishments up north, he would not now be gracing the governor's premises in Oxford, and the governor was going to make absolutely certain that he would not be disgracing them. What does it mean? That he had already escaped from the jail for 3 times. Now for this, the security level had developed a lot, and now the governor would make certain that this time he would not give any chance to Evans for disgracing them. No doubt it's a very disgrace for the jail authority if a criminal actually escaped from the jail for more than 3 times, 4 times, then it would be a great disgrace for the jail authority as well as for the jailer. So here the governor, the jailer himself, he would not give he was determined that he would not give any opportunity, any chance to Evans to make him disgrace this time. Not that Evans was a real burden, just a persistent nagging presence. Now it was thinking that the secretary was thinking that he was not all the time, he was thinking about Evans, whether Evans would escape from the jail or not. But Evans was a nagging presence, you know, it's sort of burden. Nagging presence means the secretary could not but think about Evans. Okay, the persistent nagging presence means all the time, though the secretary did not want to think about Evans, but still Evans had escaped thrice from the jail. So if he could escape from this time, it would be 4th time for him, and it would be a great disrespect for the governor as well. So though he did not want to think about Evans, but still he could not keep aside this thinking about Evans, and that has been stated as a nagging presence. He would be all right in Oxford, though the governor would see to it personally, and this time the governor was very much determined that this time he would see all the arrangement himself, he would see all these arrangements personally, and this time Evans would not get any chance from escaping from there. And besides, there was just a possibility that Evans was genuinely interested in O-level German, just a slight possibility, just a very slight possibility. And the secretary was, the governor was also thinking that Evans might escape from the jail using these as an opportunity, using these for appearing the examination as an opportunity to escape. But there might be a chance that what Evans was demanding, that he wanted to achieve more and more academic qualification. So that might be a chance that really he wanted to appear in the examination for his academic qualification. Though this is slight chance, this is very slight chance, but still there might be a chance that really he did not want to escape from the jail, and he really wanted to enhance his academic qualification. At 8:30 p.m. on Monday, 7 June, Evans's German teacher shook him by the hand in the heavily guarded recreational block just across from D Wing. Now, this is 7 June, Monday is the day before the O-level examination. So question may come, on which day O-level examination was conducted? Actually, O-level examination was conducted on 8 June, Tuesday. Okay, on 8 June, Tuesday. And we know that Evans had been given tuition. A teacher would come from outside to teach him privately, and he had taken the tuition since the month of September. So he had already prepared for this examination for these 5-6 months. Now, on the day before the examination, the teacher was going out finally, and he was actually wishing Evans his good luck, and it was around 8:30 at night. And where? Now, in the recreational block, and D wing is two different building of this Oxford prison. Now, Evans was kept in the recreational block. Now, what the German teacher told him? Guten Glückig, here Evans. The German teacher told, Guten Glückig, pardon? Evans could not understand what the teacher told, because the teacher told it in German language. Pardon? I said good luck for tomorrow. And the teacher wished Evans good luck for tomorrow's examination, because because the next day Evans would appear in the O-level examination. Oh, thanks here. I mean, Dankeschön. Dankeschön means thanks in Germany. So Evans also wished thanks to, give thanks to the German teacher. You haven't a cat in hell's chance of getting through, of course, but the teacher told, yes, I am wishing you best of luck, but I know you haven't a cat in hell's chance. A cat in hell's chance means you don't have a minimum chance in getting through the examination, in passing the examination, in cracking the examination. The teacher told this to Evans. But I may surprise everybody, said Evans. But Evans told, yes, but I may surprise everybody. These sentences, very much indicative, because through this sentence, Evans wants to say that appearing in the examination is just an excuse for him for escaping the jail. He told that I may surprise everybody. At 8:30 the following morning means 8 June, Tuesday, on which day the examination will be conducted. At 8:30 the following morning, Evans had a visitor, rather two visitors in fact, and Evans was there in his cabin, in his cell, and there he had two visitors on the day of examination. He tucked his grubby string vest into his equally grubby trousers. He was wearing a grubby means dirty string vest. He was wearing a vest, and he has tucked his vest in his grubby trousers. The trousers was also very dirty. He was wearing a vest and trousers, and both were very dirty, and stood up from his bunk. What is bunk? Bunk was the platform on which Evans was sitting. If you have the book, you can see the picture here. That this is on page number 73. The picture was there that Evans was sitting on a raised platform on the floor. This is bunk. So Evans was sitting on the bunk. So when the two visitors came, he stood up from the bunk. Here, and smiling cheerfully. Morning, Mr. Jackson. So who has come? Mr. Jackson has come. Who is Mr. Jackson? Mr. Jackson is a senior prison officer. So senior prison officer had come to meet with Evans on the day of examination at 8:30 in the morning. This is indeed an honor. And Evans was telling, oh, I'm honored that you have come to meet with me. Jackson was a senior prison officer on D wing, and he and Evans had already become warm enemies. I told Evans had escaped from the jail for 3 times. So, and Jackson was a senior prison officer of this jail. So, Jackson and Evans were warm enemies. Somehow, Jackson has come to meet Evans on that day of examination. At Jackson's side stood Officer Stephen, a burly, surly-looking man, only recently recruited to the profession. And with Jackson, another person has come. He is Mr. Stephens, Officer Stephens. He is a burly, surly man. Burly, surly means he is having a pleasant personality, a happy looking person. And he had recently recruited to this job. So, 2 officers, Jackson and Stephens, they had come to meet with Evans on that examination day, and they had come to the cell where Evans was there. Jackson nodded curtly. Jackson, with courtesy, Jackson nodded. And how is our little Einstein this morning then? Now, Jackson actually ironically called Evans Einstein, because, it has already been told that Jackson and Evans, they were warm enemies, and Evans was appearing in the examination being a criminal, so Jackson very ironically called him Einstein. Wasn't he a mathematician? Mr. Jackson now Evans actually pretended as if he had not heard the name of Einstein, and he did not know who Einstein was. So he pretended that, and he was asking, oh, was he not a mathematician? I think he was a Jew, Mr. Jackson, and told, I think he was a Jew, Mr. Jackson. Evans's face was unseven, and he wore a filthy looking red and white bubble hat upon his head. Evans's cheek was unseven, he has not shaved, and he was wearing a bubble hat. See the picture? Evans was wearing a bubble hat. Now question may come, what is the color of this bubble hat? It was red and white, so he was wearing a red and white color bubble hat. Give me a chance, Mr. Jackson. I was just going to shave when you burst in. And he told Jackson that give me a chance, because I was about to shave my beard whenever you burst in. Burst in means you came quickly. Which reminds me, Jackson turned to his eyes on Stephens, and when Evans told this, Jackson actually looked towards Stephens, the junior officer, and told, make sure you take his razor out of his cell when he has finished scraping the ugly mug of his. Here, mug means face. So here Jackson ordered this to Stephens, that after Stephen would complete his shaving, you must take away the razor. Clear? One of those days he will do us all a favor and cut his bloody throat. And Evans and Jackson also told this in front of Evans, that one day he would cut his throat by his razor. Why? Because he was really a warm enemy of Evans as well. So I feel you have understood, and thank you very much for joining the class. Next day we will again continue where we are leaving today. So thank you.